Okay, so I'm going to try to be as brief as possible, but nonetheless, I'm sure you can see the timestamp on this video. It's going to be a long one. So strap yourselves in, boys and girls. We're going to read this article by Greg Johnson. We're gonna read it. Hopefully not all of it. I think I'll probably give up. I'll give up probably after half an hour. But yeah. So let's get through this. I wasn't going to write about this topic anymore because frankly I'm bored of it, and everyone else is bored of it too. I want to return to writing helpful things, as if you ever have. But I keep getting dragged back into this shit show in various ways. That's probably because I was the guy who originally pointed out the alt-right's increasingly deranged nonsense to a lot of people and explained Duganism. I was the guy who did that. Keep in mind, he's taking credit for explaining Duganism and for pointing out the. I mean, I don't think I even have to fucking respond to that. So I guess I don't have any right to complain. It's not that I think that this stuff is completely useless to talk about. It's just that I would rather spend my time working on the many, many vastly more useful projects that I could be working on. I think a lot of people feel that way, Greg. Also, thanks for the meme. Thank you for the meme here. It's the mark of a very authentic and serious writer to include memes in his articles. Excuse me. To be honest, I think I've already sufficiently made my points via Twitter, evident by the fact that other influential nationalists have noticed the same bizarre trends and are in agreement that something retarded and fishy is going on. Very erudite and succinct there, Greg. Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Very cool, Greg. Very cool. In this article, I'll summarize and expand upon my arguments, in addition to presenting a massive supporting evidence. A massive supporting evidence. Thank you to all the people who sent me quotes, tweets, information, etc. I wouldn't have been able to compile all of this without your help. And for any alt-writers reading this, no, there was no organized gay op here. People just started randomly sending me all this stuff. A literal gay man participating in an operation. I mean, seriously, reading this, I feel like I'm reading the ramblings of Jared Holt, but it's not a gay op, bro. It's not a gay op. My general thoughts on the situation. My overall argument is that over the past few years, the alt-right has devolved into a bizarre cult of hot takes and mindless e-celeb worship filled with disingenuous and obtuse pseudo-intellectuals who seem to care more about feeling big-brained on the internet than they do about white people. This culture appears to have been propagated by a few leading e-intellectuals with very shady personal connections. I mean, this is building upon the Anglin article. I want you to understand that, and I want you to keep the Anglin hit pieces in mind as we go through this. You'll see a lot of glaring connections. I'm actually starting to see some as I'm reading this that I didn't pick up the first time around. But yeah, very, very interesting there. I have to say, this paragraph is basically how I feel and have felt about Richard Spencer at times. However, I think he does make some good points once in a while. I'm not discounting everything the man says, but I've always felt that Richard Spencer has been very self-centered, egotistical. But you know what? When you're the guy who's saying this, when you're the guy who's saying, I'm the one who explained Duganism and pointed out the deranged nonsense of the alt-right, yeah, you don't have a fucking place to speak, you fucking asshole. Many people are tired of this vapid intellectualism and pompous huffing, excuse me. Not because intellectualism as a whole is evil or unnecessary, but because the hot takes drummed up by these intellectuals are consistently atrocious and becoming progressively more terrible as time drags on. They frequently go beyond the point of mere stupidity and into the realm of being actively harmful to our cause. Nobody seems to be questioning this consistent idiocy and ineptitude. Okay, all right. Cool, cool. Why are they scared of big names? By the way, I just want to point out real quick. That argument is exactly what you have been accused of by fucking everyone. I've been fucking saying this to you. I said this to you on Twitter on my, unfortunately now banned account. Been banned about 5 times now. Thanks in part to people like you, by the way. I know it's people like you that have been fucking reporting me. I know it because I get banned for homophobic slurs in threads where everyone else is saying worse. So fuck you people. Why? Are they scared of big names? Scared of losing clout? Clout. Interesting choice of words. I've never heard anyone in the alt-right use this word. Actually, the only people I've ever heard talk about clout are your buddies in the Amnat community. Your friends over there, people like Nick Fuentes, talk about, you don't have enough clout to, that's what I was fucking told when I started calling out these people on their bullshit. They said, oh, you don't have enough clout for your opinion to matter. That's what Beardson said to, what's that guy? Eternal Apu. You don't have enough clout. You don't have enough followers. You are the fucking people that are concerned with that. Not us, you fucking lying assholes. And yes, you are in league with them. So, yeah, don't even try to deny that. Many people on the alt-right, but by no means all, appear to be driven by an egotistical desire to superficially like. Keep in mind, again, it's the leaders. It's not all of them. You know, much like Anglin said, it's not all of the people on the at TRS who are feds. It's just the top people. It's just the people we want to isolate. The people who are actually being effective, formulating arguments and narratives that are actually impacting the political discourse. I don't think anybody has ever derived, and not that I'm aware of, a new hot take from countercurrents. So maybe there's a little bit of jealousy here. Maybe you're just not as revolutionary as you'd like to be, Greg. Seems like you're the one that needs attention here. Makes sense considering your sexuality. Anyway, they appear to be driven by an egotistical desire to superficially LARP as the most radical dissident possible, attempting to out-radical all other dissidents on the internet. Yeah, you're the one trying to fucking tone police people here, asshole. You're the one telling people, I don't care. If you want to be a fucking libertarian and you want to make libertarian arguments and be racist, that's your prerogative, dude. But you're wrong. I'll debate you on the facts, but you're wrong. You can go out and do that, though. I'm okay with that. But you are the one that comes to us and tells us what we have to say and what optics we have to fucking abide by. So shut up. This quest for novelty and obscurity is not exclusive to nationalism, but a widespread and widely studied sickness in our extremely online era. Return to tradition. Return to tradition. You know how you guys like to mock that? Return to tradition, white man. The porn addict's endless quest for increasing depraved and perverse fetishes is perhaps the most coming from you. You and your whole publication are full of perverts, homosexuals, people like Carl Thorburn, who talks about how Dan having AIDS is not gonna prevent the white race from continuing. It's the Karens. It's the Karens that aren't breeding, as if men don't have any fucking role in the family structure, as if men aren't equally culpable for reproduction. It's fucking absurd. You people, you are the perverts. You people, you incels that watch pornography and then decry it. You people that call white women pogs. I had to look that up. When I got into the fucking Amnat community because I didn't know what a fucking pog was. It turns out it's a porn term. You people use that while telling us that we need to stop watching porn. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You're all coomers. You're all coomers, and we know you coom. So be quiet. And we know you groomed young men on Facebook, Greg, so shut up. Anyway, yeah, William Pierce. So since the dawn of the migrant crisis in Europe, the accelerated rates of foreign invasion into the U.S., Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, but not Germany and not Russia. Interesting choice of countries there. The Anglosphere. You're focusing exclusively on the Anglosphere. Interesting. And the total collapse of South Africa. Public inclination toward our ideas has increased dramatically. Yes, it has. This whole thing, I don't know if there's anything. Yeah, I like how you call it faking gay. Very interesting. Yeah. Do you want to go down that road, Greg? Do you really want to? I don't know. I don't think you do, buddy. But yeah, I don't think I need to go into this very much. Good. Oh, he cites Ted Kaczynski. Talk about optics. I'm going to cite a literal terrorist. But don't support Palestine, guys, because people think they're terrorists. Fucking hell. Oh my god. Well, public receptiveness to our baseline principles has increased exponentially over that last half decade. The idea is an outward half decade, 6 years. Very interesting time frame. The ideas and outward appearance of the alt-right have become ever more deranged, alien, and all around repulsive to all normal people. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to think. Well, 5 years ago, yeah, that would be 2015. So about before Trump's election. So since Trump got elected, things have been getting bad. Interesting. I tend to agree with you, actually. I'm not arguing that nationalists are going to win a massive ballot box victory, of course. Well, yeah, it turns out that all of the victories that we're meant to believe in are false victories. That's the point. That's what people like us have been pointing out. People like you have been denying this. You're still on the Trump train, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Greg's one of the ones that's not on that thing, but everyone that he's involved with, everyone in his milieu is. You're all promoting this. Anyway, he calls people NPCs and then defends stupidity because we need a caste system. And yeah, very interesting stuff, very original stuff. We needed to appeal to the remaining 10% of society, the free thinkers. That sounds like Richard Spencer's elitism, buddy. I don't know. We aren't going to do that with any of the deranged trash that the alt-right has been peddling for years, which culminated in the... See, this is the thing. He hasn't actually made a point this entire... Like, we're in point 2. He hasn't made a point. And, we're pro these things. This is like Sticks, Hex, and Hammer's fucking Twitter. This is literally Sticks, Hex, and Hammer's pinned tweet from 2018. Okay? Okay? Okay, buddy? Okay, guy? In fact, much of the... And by the way, I agree with all of these, and I dislike all of these, and we all agree with this. We all agree with this. Corporate dominance. I thought you were against Marxism, bro. What do you mean corporate dominance? Is this a bad... I can't tell if this is anti-capitalist or anti-national socialist. I can't tell who you're jabbing at with this one, to be honest with you. In fact, much of the public is begging for people who politically represent many, if not all, of these points. I agree. We all agree on these. Yeah, we all want normalcy. We all want... I don't know. What are you trying... You know, this is the thing. These fucking assholes dance around this. Oh, here's a picture with a bunch of people with yarmulkes. We're not going to say anything, though. We're not going to put anything in a print, necessarily. The masses are sick of the meaningless lives in social isolation. They're tired of the terrorism, murders, rapes, and pedophilic grooming gangs. Thank you for pointing that out. We're all aware of this. And we're also aware of the fact that they're trying to channel this anger into impotent things, which is what we've been pointing out, and it's what you're doing, frankly. They're afraid their daughters will be whores and their sons will become daughters. I'm sure you'd like their sons to become daughters, Greg. They have no more tolerance for the wretched communists who tell them that they were born privileged whilst their friends and family die of drug overdoses. Wait, die of what drugs? What drugs? You mean Oxycontin and oxycodone? Are you talking about the Sackler family? Who broke the lid on that? Oh, I wonder who that is. I have no more respect for the globalist political elite and liberal bourgeoisie. Oh, the bourgeoisie. Oh, interesting. What's such seductive language, Greg? Are you hitting on me? Who have forced all of this poison onto their once safe and stable societies, rather than capitalizing upon all of this. Doesn't this sound like a fantasy, by the way? Doesn't this sound like a fucking story being written? Rather than capitalizing on this, the alt-right has instead turned to aggressively promoting third worldism bullshit. You're lying. Constantly shilling for hostile foreign nations. What nations specifically? You should have named them right here. Specifically Eurasia. That's not specific. And the Middle East. Again, these are regions. These are not countries. These are not nations. What part of the Middle East are you talking about? Are you talking about Saudi Arabia? Are you talking about Israel? Are we talking about the United Arab Emirates? What are we talking about when you say the Middle East? What are you talking about when you say Eurasia? Are we shilling for the Taiwanese? Are we the Thai people? I know it's Thai, but it's weird saying Thai in that context. Are we shilling for the Vietnamese, Greg? The North Koreans, Greg? Oh God, are we shilling for them? No, you're talking about Russia. You're talking about Palestine, Iran. I think he does actually name them later on, but you know what? That's funny. Like Palestine has nothing to do with our politics, but they are the enemy of Israel. So it's interesting that you don't want us to support them. And he also has a tweet. I'm sure everyone's seen the tweet where he says that most people think that Palestinians are terrorists. That's not true. I've been pro-Palestine since I was a kid because I was raised liberal, and most liberals support Palestine under anti-colonialist principles. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not a liberal anymore, is because they became less anti-colonial in regards to Israel. Although many liberals still are. Many liberals are still anti-Zionist. And this is a bridge that we could build between people to bring people to our side. But you want to burn that bridge because you're the one that's actually trying to sabotage us, you fucking asshole. Same goes with Iran. Why do I have to hate Iran? Why should I give a shit about Iran? Iran is the enemy of Israel. Not my enemy. They might be the enemy of America, but the American regime is not my regime. It's not my government. It's not a government that represents me. And under your principles, you want to end the lockdown because it's the Zog regime that's imposing it upon us, but I'm supposed to oppose Iran because they're the enemies of said regime. I don't fucking understand this at all. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, most of which was equally NWO occupied territory. Who the fuck in the right still uses the term NWO? Are you George Carlin? Is this the rhetoric that's going to win the West, Greg? Thank you. While promoting virulent anti-Westernism and attempting to rehabilitate Marxism and Bolshevism. Well, let me say something, okay? I've seen the tweet that you're referring to when you talk about Richard Spencer. I don't think you actually showed the tweet. But yes, Richard Spencer made some anti-Western comments. But he clarified saying that he was talking about the Western governments. You know those governments that are letting in all these rapists, Murderers and pedophilic grooming gangs, yeah, he's against them. But and you know this, but you're lying. They do this under the guise of delegitimizing neoliberal globalism. I might get back to that later because I think he talks a bit more about it later on. But yes, this is true. Yes. If we were to assume that all of their kook antics are genuine beliefs, non-astroturf, non-glowing, and non-subversive, then to call these people completely brain-dead would be an understatement of the millennia. If I wanted to completely destroy a rising nationalist movement and have it fade into schizophrenic irrelevancy, I wouldn't do anything differently to what the TRS Spencer faction of the alt-right is currently doing and has done for the past few years. Okay, all right. Well, back to you. I would just I would play that fucking Uno card. Back to you. No. Again, oh, nice meme, bro. Oh, cool meme. Very cool, Greg. Very nice. Are you sure? Let's see the white race. Yeah, we're all. Let me tell you something. Let me let you in on a little secret, Greg. Race realism is a basic bitch thing. We all operate under these principles. We're moving past this now to something slightly more sophisticated that you can't seem to keep up with. That's not our problem. You're a fucking idiot. That's your problem. Actually, I don't actually think this is stupidity. But anyway, this article in a way is an addendum to my long. I'm not reading that. Fuck you. Dugan is probably a Fed. Everyone's a Fed. I don't even disagree with this. Probably. He probably is. I don't care. I don't want to I'm going to fucking skip all of this. You can read this if you want. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm just going to say this. Nobody's defending Duganism. And all of these screenshots, yes, I know about European, blah, blah, blah. I will say this. He says that Duganism is hostile to the Anglosphere and Atlanticism. It's interesting because you focus exclusively on the Anglosphere and Atlanticism. You don't focus on any of the white countries outside of that sphere. Very interesting here. Now, me personally, I care about all of it. I care about every white country. And I think most people on the alt-right feel that way. So, this is just bullshit. Again, NWO, Zog, man, Zog. Is this why you people are giving fucking time to people like, what's his name? David Icke, who believes in like shape-shifting reptiles? Tell me more about optics, asshole. Dugan is a huge fan of occultism. Okay. Cool. Oh, I'm actually very surprised he didn't try to draw a line between Dugan and Augustus Invictus right here. I appreciate that you didn't go that far. Shit. Yeah, anyway, I know about Duganism a little bit, and it's dumb. Oh, here, I do want to talk a little bit about this. Sorry, I'm filibustering a little bit here. Let's talk about this. The images below contain evidence of influential alt-right and identitarian figures either openly promoting Dugan, being promoted by Dugan, having first-degree connections to Dugan, or regurgitating his theories verbatim. You like to use that just in case you didn't get it. Dugan. There is far more evidence available that I've included in this article, but the nice selection. Now, what's interesting, I don't know if we can bring this up. Can I bring this up? Can I do that? I don't know. Oh, of course, Imgur. Thank you. Very professional. Very cool, dude. Oh, I can. Oh, shit. Can I get. Oh. These ones actually do. Okay, well, I see one timestamp. I went through some of these looking for timestamps. It's very hard to find them, actually. This one has May 27th, 2019. Okay, so that's a year ago. That's last year. We have also issued the first translation into English of the prominent Russian geopolitical thinker Alexander Dugin. So they translated a work. They translated something. I believe Zero Schizo actually translates things that are not alt-right as well. Who cares? Who gives a shit? They translated them. Now, this is interesting. This is all bullshit. Yeah, nice Dugan meme. Dugan. Very cool, Dugan. Yeah, Dugan has links to the French New Right. I've literally never heard anyone talk about Dugan outside of like Richard Spencer like 3 years ago. And like since then, I've never heard anyone talk about him. So I don't understand why Dugan's really that relevant. But this is interesting though. They say that Arctos Media, the translator for Dugan's work, Michael Millerman, is Arctos Media's translator for his work. Is this the one? Yeah. So they point to this guy. They say that he is their translator for Dugan's work. He doesn't work for Arctos Media. They make it sound like he's an employee. He's not an employee. He is just the guy that translated his work. I believe he actually works for the University of Toronto. So if this guy's a white nationalist affiliate or an alt-right affiliate, why do you think he's allowed to work in the University of Toronto? And I don't know. He is Jewish. He is Jewish, and he did translate the work. Okay, so anyone who's ever talked to a Jew is Jewish. You won't name the Jew. This is the closest thing to naming the Jew he does, is talking about this guy's translator. Not fucking relevant at all. At all. No, I'm not calling any of the above characters Duganist. Bullshit. Anyway, yeah, okay. I love how this seems very sarcastic. I thought you're gonna make reference later on to humor as like jokes are not okay, but you can be facetious. Dugan is just a meme, according to Eric Stryker. My disclaimer on ideological osmosis is below. Read it before you spurg out and claim that I'm calling every man and his mother a Duganist. I don't care. Yeah. I mean, Dugan doesn't reel. Dugan doesn't reel. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm glad that you checked for grammatical errors in this piece, Greg. Man who's good friends with two prominent Duganists and who podcasts with Eric Stryker, an organizer for... Now we're bringing up Matt Heimbach, who is now a fucking turncoat and is actually like informing on us. That these people made fun of, by the way. Mike, Enoch, everyone at TRS has been making fun of Heimbach. Everyone hates him, and everyone has hated him for quite some time. Again, drumming up old shit. Remember the Anglin article. Remember when he said fucking Marakiu had one 20-minute conversation with Chris Cantwell, post him being a fucking narc. And Eric Stryker had a debate with him 8 months prior, and he just like smashed these two events together and acted like they happened back to back and they're all relevant. This is fucking bullshit. This is obscurity. They are trying to pull the wool over your eyes. It's muddying the waters, and that's all it is. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? You know what? Oh, you found a picture between Mike Enoch, Richard Spencer, and Matt Heimbach? I bet I could fucking find a picture with you. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say what I want to say. I'm not gonna do it. I know you're gonna go after Zero Schizo. Fuck you, dude. You're such a piece of shit. I fucking hate this guy so much. For months now, or perhaps years in some cases, the alt-right has had free rein to pump trash into the minds of nationalists in the West with little to no pushback. This is all very objective, by the way. I'm glad you're being a very sterile, objective observer and collector of evidence. This is largely due to their monopoly on nationalist media, which was greatly assisted by the alt-right shilling by the mainstream media. You mean when CNN interviewed Richard Spencer? Again, are you just pissed off that you didn't get any of that attention? Is that why you have to get donations from, a certain Jew who works for a certain alt-right website? Is that why? A certain bad optics website? Throughout 2020, these people have done nothing but stir up trouble for nationalism, redirecting it into ineffectual or even downright harmful avenues. You mean like hating women? Hating homosexuals like yourself? Since the beginning of the coronavirus situation, they have promoted insanely divisive rhetoric, claiming that any nationalist who does not... I mean, this is just stupid. Anyone who doesn't like Zog, overreach, is a libertarian. In other words, if you didn't like the lockdown, you're a libertarian. I mean, yeah, they are libertarians making these arguments. I'm sorry, but you are libertarians that are saying this. Sorry that's the case, but it's true. Own that shit, man. You don't want to be called fascist, so what are you? What are you? Please explain to me. And, if it's Zog's lockdown, if it's Zog's shutdown, was it Zog's lockdown in China? Because their lockdown was a lot worse than ours. So was it Zog doing that to them? I'm confused. I don't understand. Maybe I'm retarded. I just don't get it, dude. If it was Zog. If you don't love China, you're a neocon. Well, I mean, the neocons are pushing against China, and so are you. And by the way, if you haven't watched it, there's a video on Zoomer Clip's YouTube channel called Nick Fuentes Goes Off on China. Very interesting video. I encourage everyone to watch it. It's 11 minutes of him explaining that he's different from the neocons because neocons aren't racist, and he is. They hate them because they're Chinese or because they're communists. I hate them because they're Chinese, and the Chinese have always been imperialists, and they've always been these evil people. That's what he's saying. That's what Nick Fuentes basically says. Like, we're racist, so we're different. You have the same agenda. You make very similar points. You share videos of them torturing animals, and meanwhile you just made like a bunch of jokes a couple months ago about hunting wolves to spite pagans, which is kind of funny because the wolf is like a feminine symbol. It's a symbol of the uterus, well, not the uterus, the vagina and the womb, in pagan mythology. So it's interesting that all these fucking incels that hate women are going after a feminine symbol despite paganism. Very interesting there. A little bit of Freudianism perhaps. Anyone who doesn't love Russia is a Cold War hawk. Well, you're drumming up Cold War talking points, so yeah. But yeah, no, Russia is on the same continuum as us. They are an extension of Zog, but they're very conservative at this point. It wasn't really known, I think, until recently just how paused they are. But at the same time, I think Stryker's point about Russia was that Netanyahu negotiates from the standpoint of Russia. He admires. He did admire at one point the ability for Putin to negotiate with Israel on Russia's terms, whereas in the United States, he just gives Solomon whatever the fuck he wants. Trump just does whatever Israel wants. That's a very different dynamic, and that's what he was promoting. It wasn't the idea that like Russia good, America bad. That's dumb. Nobody was promoting that. But I'm sorry, maybe that goes over your head. Anyone who doesn't rehabilitate Marxism is a liberal. Again, nobody's trying to rehabilitate Marxism. Some people are being dismissive of its influence over academia, namely Richard Spencer, and I disagree with that. And a lot of people disagree with that. A lot of his own supporters disagree with that. But nonetheless, it's not cultural capitalism is not what's teaching kids in universities to hate themselves and teaching them that whiteness is evil. That's not capitalism doing that. For anyone's cultural capitalism is the real problem. I'm sorry, Keith. Consumer culture is a problem, and we should attack that. We should attack both of these things. Both of these things are bad. Can we agree on that, please? Anyone who doesn't support Palestine is a Zionist. Well, why would you not support Palestine? Give me a reason. Please tell me. Besides your straw man of them being terrorists, which is not true, which is only ever published in Zionist magazines, why shouldn't I support Palestine? Please tell me. Because normies don't actually think they're terrorists. Normies, maybe some backwoods hillbilly. Look, and that's not an attack on white. You can say that's an attack on white people. Those fucking people exist. I've met them. I know them. I live in a hick community. So fuck yourself. They might look at someone in a hijab and just go, "Oh my god, he's a terrorist." I have had a friend who reacted in that way. Okay, and he's an idiot, and I told him he was an idiot. But yeah, I mean that's just not true. That's just not true. And most people understand at this point that Palestinians are not like rabid Islamists. You know who's a rabid Islamist? The Saudis, the people that Israel supports. Again, it's Perseus explained this very well on Keith Woods' podcast. I'm going off on a tangent now. Anyone who doesn't ally with people who hate us is a traitor. That's literally what you're doing, fuckhead. Oh, the alt-right's Dugan again. Dugan, fuck you. Okay, alright. Again, this is getting... Now you get to the racist liberalism. The term racist liberal is the latest... See, I'm sorry, I'm getting bored with my own video at this point. It's just so tiring, right? The term racist liberal is the latest in the lineage of alt-right buzzword smears, as mentioned in the previous section. They appear to have settled on racist liberal as their smear of choice. This is not insignificant. Dugan uses the term liberal interchangeably with Western. Nobody gives a fuck about Dugan, asshole. Nobody's using it that way. Okay? What we mean by liberal is people that use liberty, freedom as the ultimate value to measure everything, as you appear to do as you are condemning all lockdowns as extensions of Zog. You understand? You are advocating for a freedom-based morality system. That is a liberal idea. That is a foundationally liberal idea. Okay? You're a liberal. It's fine. But shut the fuck up and stop trying to project on everyone else. In addition to frequently using the term racist is both a pejorative and a synonym for liberal. Look, he plays he has like a Nick Fuentes video embedded here too. Again, this is all garbage. Anyway, yeah, he makes reference to this whole like racist liberal. Oh, you called us racist liberals? You're the racist liberals, actually. And like, I think this is a bit too played out at this point. It's a bit overdone. We're calling each other liberals for different reasons, and we need to recognize what we mean by a racist liberal. When I see Wild Rich calling black people subhuman and going off on these ridiculously bad optics tangents while calling me a wignat, you are a racist liberal. You're someone who hates everyone who's not white, and you think that freedom is the ultimate virtue. That's what if I've never called these people white. Excuse me, I've never called them racist liberals, but if I did, that's what I would mean. I can actually pin it down and explain to you why you are. You can't really do the same thing. You're just saying, oh, you're left wing. Left wing, I mean, yeah, we have some left wing views. Third positionism has left wing views baked into it, so you can always say that. However, leftist and liberal are not the same thing. I guess that's sort of like Middle Eastern politics, a bit too nuanced for you, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, if you come from a communist background as I do, you should also know that liberal is a default communist slur for fellow communists who aren't being communist enough. It's their version of cuck. I mean, this is like, oh my god. I was a tanky once, everybody. What? I'm sorry, I don't think I read this correctly the first time. Like Dugan, they also operate on the axis of everything I don't like is liberalism, often claiming that fascism is a form of liberalism. What? What? I don't understand what the fuck you're trying to say here, bro. Ironically, it was Nick Fuentes who first started using the term racist liberal to describe the alt-right. Yes, it was, and it was kind of dumb, to be honest with you. It's all irony, bro. Yeah, he calls them the Irony Bros 2.0, which is ironic because you're allied with the Irony Bros 1.0. So I don't get. It's really just projection after projection, really, isn't it? After myself and others pointed out that the alt-right's weird Dugan-esque third worldism and Eurasianist shilling all races must unite against the evil liberal American world order. I can think of a J word that belongs in that label. Liberal American world order. It's not the liberals. It's not the liberals. It's the you-know-whos, and they cross political boundaries, and we all know that. You know that, but you guys want to pretend that the conservative right is pure and humble and totally uninfested with this shit because you are shills. You are the ones shilling for people like Donald Trump. You are the ones shilling for the kosher right. So shut the fuck up. We're not even entertaining the spectrum. Okay, alt-right is not a term that's used anymore because it's inaccurate. That's why we used, dissident right. ARDR because it's, some people, you want to call yourself alt-right, right-wing, whatever. But third positionism is not necessarily right-wing, as everyone knows. Many alt-righters decided to drop the mask and become full-blown ironic Duganists. You're still on about this shit. Jesus Christ. They're essentially become Irony Bros 2.0, except instead of being funny, they've opted as being repulsive. Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. And what's funny is he kind of takes a shot at people like Fuentes who do try to entertain this. At least the real irony bros use irony to escape persecution by the system. These retards only use. Why are you censoring the word retard? By the way, I'd like to know that. They only use irony as a way to deflect criticism from other nationalists who ask them why they're shilling all of this weird subversive shit that nobody likes. No, actually, it's like some of us just joke. I don't know who this is. I don't know who any of these people are. I don't care. These are like, now it's like Nazbol posting was serious. Now we're going to take Nazbol posting serious. No one ever took this seriously. Literally everyone has known this is a meme. You're an idiot. You're a fucking moron for taking this seriously. Greg, you're a fucking joke. Sorry, I'm just going to check the time right here. I'm up to half an hour on this one clip. Fuck. Yeah, sorry, I had to cut out parts of this where I stuttered. And so now, the People's Square, a brief stutter talking points were cleared through Dugan. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Sorry about that. I just had to stop and read this quote. I forgot this was here. Yeah, so he thinks this is serious. He thinks this is fucking serious. Read this fucking tweet. People Square back online after a brief stutter. Talking points were cleared through Dugan and he allowed the stream. This is like when people say like, oh yeah, Netanyahu gave me my marching orders. Or Putin gave me my marching orders. Like, oh my fucking god, you're an idiot. You're a fucking moron, Greg. Jesus Christ. His ironic Strasserism. I love this. Eric Stryker's ironic Strasserism. I'm sorry. Who were the Strasser brothers part of? What party were they affiliated with? Can you was that the Communist Vanguard Party? I can't remember. Fuck, it escapes me. Was it all irony when they were relentlessly shilling for China, which initially caused the shitstorm? Again, blame China. A lab in China there are a lot of good conspiracy theories surrounding this that point back at Israel, that point back potentially at America even. And I'm not willing to go that far. I'm not willing to say who started the virus. I'm not gonna go there. But some people have very good evidence. Charles Lieberman have very good evidence to suggest that maybe this wasn't what it seems, and I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out it's the usual suspects in all of this. But again, why are you attacking China? I'm like, you can ask me why I'm defending China, and I'm not. And some people went a bit far with that shit. But why are you attacking them? What's your reasoning? I want to hear your reason, because all of a sudden this is going on. You've left China. China has always tortured dogs. China has always been totalitarian. China has always been oppressive. None of these things are new. Why is your attacking of China new? What changed? Because it's not China. You know, all of these people are full of shit. They've been promoting all this crap unironically for months or even years in some cases. Now that they have been caught with their pants down and everyone is calling them subversive retards, they're desperately trying to deflect criticism in any way they can. In one breath, they'll tell you that Dugin and Nazbol has no influence and it's just a meme, and then the next they'll tell you that they're Dugin aficionados and that you should read his work. That's all a joke, you moron. I mean, you should read everything. You should read the Communist Manifesto. You should read as much as you can. You have to understand your enemies. But everyone's saying Duginism is stupid. I think Mike Enoch gave a real-time reaction to this when he basically explained how stupid Duginism is. And it wasn't a joke. So there's your answer, buddy. There's your answer. Nobody's a Duginist. We all think it's stupid. It's a joke. You're a joke. Your fucking countercurrents is a fucking joke. I don't care. Oh yeah, No White Guilt. I do want to actually go into this. No White Guilt calls out novelty takes. I actually didn't watch this video. I saw it on Twitter, but I didn't play this. As harmful, egotistic, attention-seeking that lures people away from the very clear and obvious path to victory. The path to victory. And misdirects them into ineffectual or downright avenues? Ineffectual or downright avenues. Downright what? This is an adjective, asshole. Anyway, what? So the thing is, the day that he made this video is the same day that he also posted a video that I gave him shit for, and a lot of people gave him shit for justifiably, when he posted a video of a communist girl. I guess her shirt was some communist slogan. I didn't really pay attention. Getting the shit kicked out of her by a black girl. So he was celebrating a white girl being victimized because she had the wrong ideology. And this fucker and you want to say that you're white nationalists when you're celebrating the very victimization that you say that you're now trying to stop. It's so fucking stupid. You people are fucking. And I like No White Guilt. I will say that. But you need to fucking admit when you make a mistake, dude. Jason, I think his name is. Okay, don't fucking laugh. Don't fucking laugh at that shit. Oh, she has the wrong ideology, so I'm going to laugh at her. Well, there's another person that's never going to come to your side because you fucking you reveled in the humiliation of a white girl. To be honest, if I was a fucking white liberal, conservative, whatever, and that was the first taste of the alt-right I got, was seeing this fucking asshole laughing at a teenage girl being victimized, regardless of race, I would immediately say fuck these people. That's bad optics. That's actually bad optics. Oh, god damn it, this video's too fucking long now. I'm sorry to everyone's watched this. It's totally unwatchable at this point, isn't it? Yeah, this is great. Richard Spencer's pet, Keith Woods. Pet in this context, coming from Richard Spencer, is a little bit creepy, is it not? Like, I don't know if you saw his compliment of Keith Woods. He's saying, I don't like Richard Spencer, but Keith Woods, he seems like a nice young man. I think he said like a nice handsome young man or something. I fucking laughed my ass off when I saw that. I was alone in my living room and I just kept yelling, fucking Greg Johnson wants to fuck Keith Woods. I just kept saying that over and over. It's so funny and so true. You want to fuck Keith Woods. You're disgusting. You're fucking sick. Oh God! But I am gonna bring this up though because it's funny. I'm gonna tease Keith Woods about this. Craig Johnson has a crush on you, Keith. He likes that Irish accent. He likes that Irish accent. He's like, oh God, an Irishman. He might get rough with me. Might give me a pair of those Keith Woods sunglasses I've heard so much about. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Be. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stop. Fuck. This is getting creepy now. For the past few weeks, alt-righters have been relentlessly shilling for Islam. Palestine. Oh, here it is. Palestine, Arab states. What? Iran, etc., as well as promoting third worldism in general. Okay, listen, you fucking moron. Supporting the enemies of Zion in the Middle East is tactically in line with what we should be doing because they're our enemies in our own countries. This is not complex. This is obvious shit. And the fact that you're ignoring all of this obvious logic, it's not a hot take. It's obvious. It's something that everyone should get behind. And the fact that you're not, it just proves that you're not stupid, Greg. I know you're not a dum dum. You're a liar. You're a fraud. You're a shield. You're everything that you're accusing your enemies of being right now. This is why this article is a fucking travesty. It's a fucking travesty. Oh, Tony. Oh, Tony. No. No, no. The Palestinian question is the biggest national issue today. Oh, God. He's fucking with you. He's fucking with you, and you're too stupid to see it. Oh, God. Oh, my God. You're such an idiot. You're such a fucking moron. Oh my God, this is like your boomer uncle that gets mobbed on Twitter and doesn't understand that people are fucking with him, and then he goes on like a spiel like, "How can these people unironically think these things? Oh my God, it's terrible. Oh my God, this is terrible." Doganism. I haven't read this far. I'm now going. I'm like seeing all the people I follow on Twitter. All the people I follow. Just I'm not even gonna read the rest of this. I'm already tapped out, and I'm sure everyone watching this is now. Oh, Muammar Gaddafi. Well, thank God he was sodomized to death. That was good. That was good. I bet Greg Johnson wishes he could share that fate. I bet that's what he's hoping for. Oh, well. You know what? I actually did keep my composure in this video. I'm actually very proud of myself because the first time I fucking read this article, I was spurging out. I was making point after point about how much I fucking hate this guy. I've actually contained myself pretty well in this, I think. I've done a pretty good job. I may not have been very coherent at times. My throat's very dry right now from talking. For Greg, don't get too fucking excited. It's from talking. But yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, thank God. Thank you. You are a blessing. You are amazing. I love you. I love you in a totally heterosexual, right-wing way. And I hope you all have a good night. I hope you all have a good night. And don't, check under the bed for Carl Thorburn. He's coming for your booty. He's a warrior. And have a good night.